The sun glints off three immaculate machines lined up side by side, their engines silent for now but their presence absolutely thunderous. This isn't just another drag race. This is a meeting of three generations of Aston Martin performance, the Valkyrie, the Vanquish, and the V12 Vantage. Each of these cars represents a different philosophy of speed, luxury, and engineering brilliance. Today, we're about to find out which one truly rules the quarter mile. The setting is a long, empty airstrip, the kind of place that echoes with the ghosts of old fighter jets and long-forgotten speedruns. The tarmac stretches endlessly, heat shimmering in the distance. Three Astons stand ready, one a futuristic hypercar born from Formula One technology, one a grand tourer that defined Aston Martin's elegance in the 2010s, and one a muscular, compact brute that made purists fall in love with its raw V12 heart. The Valkyrie looks like something out of science fiction. Its body is so sculpted, so aggressively aerodynamic, it barely looks like it belongs on Earth. Built in collaboration with Red Bull Racing and Adrian Newey, it's as close to an F1 car for the road as anyone has dared to build. Beneath that sculpted carbon fiber lies a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 made by Cosworth, screaming to 11,000 revolutions per minute, paired with an electric motor for a total output of over 1,160 horsepower. It weighs less than a ton, and its downforce could pin it to the ceiling if it wanted. It's not just fast, it's a statement of what's mechanically possible. Next to it stands the Vanquish. Long, low, and impossibly elegant, it's the definition of the modern Aston Grand Tourer. Powered by a 5.9-liter naturally aspirated V12 producing around 565 horsepower, it's not built for lap times or brutal acceleration. It's built for crossing continents in style, with leather, luxury, and that unmistakable Aston charm. But today, we're asking it to do something very different, to face off against two cars that have speed written into every molecule. And then, the V12 Vantage. Smaller, angrier, and perhaps the purest of the three. Its compact frame houses the same 5.9-liter V12, but with more aggression, more noise, and a manual gearbox. It's a car built for drivers who want to feel speed, not just measure it. In raw numbers, it's outgunned. But in soul? That's another story. The stage is set. 3 Astons. 1 runway. Let's see what happens when art, muscle, and madness collide. Engines fire up, one by one. The Valkyrie erupts first, its Cosworth V12 idling at a pitch that sounds more like a Formula One car than a road car. The exhaust note is razor-sharp, mechanical, alive. It revs freely, screaming even at idle. Next, the Vanquish deeper, smoother, a gentleman's roar compared to the Valkyrie's savage howl. And then the V12 Vantage, the middle ground, raw and emotional, every blip of the throttle sending a crack through the cool morning air. The camera pans across the three cars. The Valkyrie's driver sits low, practically horizontal, hands gripping the butterfly-shaped wheel. The cockpit feels like a spaceship. The Vanquish driver looks calm, surrounded by leather and brushed aluminum. The Vantage driver, clutch depressed, revs the motor again, grinning behind the wheel. In a drag race, numbers matter. On paper, this should be over before it starts. The Valkyrie's power-to-weight ratio is absurd, around 1,100 horsepower per ton. The Vanquish manages roughly 320 per ton, and the V12 Vantage slightly less. But drag racing isn't always about paper. It's about traction, timing, and that perfect start. The airstrip falls silent except for the rising revs. 3 sets of headlights glare forward. The flag drops. The Valkyrie launches like it's been fired from a catapult. There's no hesitation, no wheel spin, just violent, instant acceleration. The electric motor fills the torque gap as the V12 screams toward 5 figures. The world around it blurs. The sound? A symphony of mechanical fury cutting through the air. The Vanquish reacts slower, its rear tires chirping as it claws for grip. It's quick, blisteringly quick by normal standards, but it's being left behind almost immediately. The V12 Vantage, on the other hand, hooks up beautifully. With a perfect manual launch, it surges ahead of the Vanquish for a brief moment, the driver fighting the wheel as the rear tires dance. But the Valkyrie? It's already disappearing into the horizon. Halfway down the strip, the difference becomes ridiculous. The Valkyrie is in another world. The Vanquish settles into a graceful rhythm, its long lead slicing through the wind, but it knows it's not winning this fight. The Vantage screams in protest, revving to the red line through every gear, pure joy and fury in motion. By the time the Valkyrie crosses the line, the other two are still fighting their own private battle. The margin isn't just big, it's monumental. The Valkyrie rolls to a stop, its carbon ceramic brakes whispering smoke, the exhaust ticking as it cools. It's done it, an effortless victory. The numbers from the telemetry are absurd: 0 to 60 in under 2.5 seconds, a quarter mile in around 9 seconds flat. You'd need a Bugatti Chiron or a Rimac Nevera to even get close. But this isn't about bragging rights, it's about what Aston Martin dared to build. The Vanquish rolls up next, slower but utterly dignified. It may have lost the race, but it looks like it's just arrived at a 5-star hotel. The V12 under its hood still sounds glorious. For a car designed over a decade ago, it remains a masterpiece of elegance and engineering. The driver steps out smiling, because sometimes, losing to something like the Valkyrie isn't losing at all. Then the V12 Vantage pulls up, its engine popping and crackling as it idles. It might have finished second, but it earned it with grit. There's a reason enthusiasts still talk about this car in hushed tones: the balance, the raw connection between driver and machine. No turbos, no electric motors, no filters. Just you, a clutch pedal, and one of the last great naturally aspirated V12s ever made. The three cars line up again, this time at rest. Looking at them together tells a story not just of performance, but of evolution. The Vanquish represents the golden age of grand touring, long-distance comfort blended with serious performance. The V12 Vantage is the pure driver's car, smaller, angrier, more alive. And the Valkyrie? It's the future. A glimpse of what happens when racing technology and road legality meet in a single, outrageous machine. As the drivers talk, the differences are clear. The Valkyrie driver describes the launch as violent but addictive. The Vantage driver laughs, saying he felt like he was wrestling the car down the runway. The Vanquish driver, ever calm, just says, "I was enjoying the view." If you came here just to see which is fastest, the answer's obvious: the Valkyrie dominates. But if you came to feel something, to understand why